This is Eddie Hearn, Matchroom Boxing. You're watching Sporting Icons. You don't need to be anywhere else.
Right, thank you, Alejandro, for sending me this article here where HBO have, in fact, ended their live boxing broadcast. And that will be going into 2019. So whatever fights that they have between now and then that are currently scheduled, they will still go ahead, no problem. But then on after 2019, the likes of the GoldenBoy fighters like Saul Canelo Alvarez, etc., and Kathy Duva fighters, of course, with like Sergey Kovalev, going to have to find new networks to broadcast their events. What options do they have? Well, potentially they could use DAZN. I mean, DAZN, they can use that platform. Obviously, they can have like a 1 or 2 fight deal with Eddie Hearn. In other words, they don't have to sign as Eddie Hearn as their promoters. See, Eddie Hearn has made this very clear before that fighters don't have to sign with him. It just means if they don't sign with him, he won't promote them as much. He'll just promote the event that is going to be showing them on. So there is that option. Maybe they could join up with Top Rank, Bob Arum, to have some shows over on ESPN. They've used that platform before, especially Oscar De La Hoya at GoldenBoy. He's used a couple of his fighters, such as Jorge Linares, has been over on ESPN before, obviously to fight ESPN or Top Rank fighters anyway. It's unlikely that they'll probably join in with Al Heyman with Showtime, Fox Sports or Fox Sports 1, as Al Heyman has announced a couple more deals with Fox Sports on FS1 too. So maybe they could, but unlikely, because Oscar De La Hoya has of course tried to take Al Heyman to court before. So unless these guys have kissed and made up, it's unlikely Al Heyman would give his fighters any kind of airtime unless they were to leave Oscar De La Hoya, which again is a possibility for some of them, depending on their contract status. Likewise with Sergey Kovalev. Now, the most realistic one for me, if they can't find another platform, and I'm sure there's plenty out there that they could do or look into, but would they be willing to compete with ESPN, with DAZN, with Showtime, with Fox Sports and that? Would they be willing to do that? It's kind of highly unlikely, to be honest, unless of course they're going to come up with their own online streaming app, maybe a GoldenBoy app or a Kathy Duva one, whatever it may be, okay? But I would probably imagine that Eddie Hearn will put on some of their shows. Obviously, it will be co-promoted by Matchroom Boxing USA and GoldenBoy as an example for a GoldenBoy event. So Saul Canelo Alvarez could defend his title against whoever it may be next, which looks like it could well be David Lemieux, as he's a GoldenBoy fighter as well. That event could be shown through DAZN. It's a possibility. Now, the reason for HBO doing this is they want to get away from the live boxing. Now, maybe it's not too lucrative because of they need pay-per-view, or maybe the pay-per-view fighters that they have that do go on their platform, such as Canelo gets so much revenue from it. How much profit are HBO making? What are the numbers like? Who knows? But of course they put on a lot of shows as well that is not pay-per-view, such as Kovalev fights, for example, against Alvarez, and obviously with the likes of Dmitry Bivol being on the cards as well, where these ones are not pay-per-view. So maybe they're losing out on that one, and they just see the competition as too much, which is pretty much what they said in the article, which I'll pin in the description, by the way, so you guys can have a read of it. I don't want to go through it all. I don't want to bore you all with it, because it is one hell of a long-winded speech by HBO. They're going to be getting into more the boxing documentary, so HBO Sports will still be there. They just won't be doing the live broadcast, and so they are going to be doing documentaries and things like that with boxers, of course, still, and whatever other events that they do. Now, of course, I'm not American, so of course I don't know the ins and outs of HBO or Showtime or ESPN. I'm not familiar with all of it. I just know the basics of them. So yeah, I think going forward you're going to be starting to see Oscar De La Hoya teaming up with Eddie Hearn quite a bit. That's what I believe is going to happen, until he can maybe set up something of his own. Like I say, maybe a GoldenBoy app. I don't know how that would work. Does he have the kind of investment to do so? Maybe. Maybe they can join up with other networks out there. There's no reason why not. I'm sure somebody somewhere would be looking to get into boxing. So we'll really have to wait and see what happens, especially with GoldenBoy. I think GoldenBoy are the ones that's really going to be hit by it. But of course, while they've got Canelo Alvarez on there, there'll be plenty of networks trying to grab at them. With the likes of Kathy Duva and her fighters, I'm not too sure. I mean, how much is Sergey Kovalev marketable now? As he's had back-to-back defeats to Andre Ward and of course Alvarez, but still he's still a very, very big popular name, much like many of her fighters are, and others as well. There are plenty of fighters and what have you going to be affected by all this. So interesting times ahead. It'll be very, very interesting to see what GoldenBoy do. Be very interesting to see what Kathy Duva does. As I said, for me, I believe that a lot of these things will be coming to Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn did say that somebody big, somebody huge will be fighting on DAZN in Las Vegas, and that'll be on November the 17th, just off the top of my head. I think that's what it is. So maybe we could see a Kovalev on there or something else, I don't know, without really looking into it. I don't want to speculate too much on that, but yeah, that's the news. HBO are ending their live boxing events, so no more pay-per-view. Showtime and ESPN no longer have competition with HBO. You drop your thoughts below about it all, click that thumbs up, and of course subscribe. Catch you all on the next video.